Hello and welcome and a very good morning. This is a very special broadcast on Times Now where we bring you live coverage of the results of the BMC election. Those results will start trickling in any moment now. I'm being joined by my colleague Amita Wadhwa for all the updates in this bumper election with plenty at stake for all the alliances.
Absolutely. The most comprehensive coverage that you will be watching here on Times Now with the team there on the ground there in Mumbai and of course reporting from here in the studios as well. So first up, let's begin with a breaking update. What we are learning as the D-Day for the battle for Mumbai's crown that we are looking at. The counting now begins for the BMC elections. That is what we are now looking at as far as exactly now being 10 a.m. And now we are expecting when it comes to the first numbers and the estimates to be out, and then we'll see exactly when it comes to the trends that are now being followed, Siddharth, because that would be very important to know कि Mumbai cha Raja kaun.
Absolutely. The exit polls have projected a sweep for the Mahayuti alliance, which includes, of course, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shinde Sena as well. But we'll have to wait and see if those results actually materialize on the ground. A very interesting build-up indeed, Amita, to this election. Typically, you would see issues such as infrastructure, civic infrastructure, potholes, drainage, all these matters actually dominating the discourse in any civic election, but that's not been the case here. When it comes to the BMC, it's identity politics that has actually taken center stage.
Absolutely. It's been a very politically loaded election that is now being witnessed, and it seems that the early trends have already started to trickle in. We're looking at the magic number of 114 at least, and sweeping as far as when it comes to Mahayuti projections that are now looking at as far as when it comes to the exit polls are concerned. So let's in the meantime get a better understanding. JVC, as he continues to be with us, we have other guests also joining us here on the broadcast. We'll be quickly introducing them as well, and our colleague Swati Joshi also continues to get you the ground reports there from Mumbai for a better understanding as far as this election season is concerned. So Shweta Shalini, spokesperson Maharashtra BJP, is connected with us. Kiran Sonavane, spokesperson Shiv Sena. Pranay Ajmera, leader from the NCP. And we have Tulip Miranda, president of the Mumbai Mahila Congress, also joining in. And Abhishek Agnihotri, leader, Shiv Sena UBD faction, also joining in live. So good morning to all of you. It is going to be a big day as far as when it comes to the numbers and the trends, Siddharth, that seems to have already started to trickle in.
Absolutely. And we can see those numbers on the top of our screens as we speak. And let me get a word in from JVC Sriram on this. Very early leads, Mr. Sriram. 18 wards now in favor of the BJP Shinde Sena alliance. Of course, we'll wait and see as to how these results eventually settle in. It'll take some time for them to stabilize. But you're, of course, very confident on your exit poll and, of course, all the poll of polls as well, which give the BJP Sena alliance a runaway advantage as far as the projections go.
Good morning, Siddharth. I think, the initial results or trends, I should say, is in lines with what we were projecting. And if you notice carefully, in fact, what we stand to hear is that probably the voting in northern Mumbai was pretty much more than that of southern Mumbai. In fact, I can tell you a ward in South Mumbai South, ward number 227, had just seen 20% turnout. This comes from Kolaba Assembly constituency. So if what we thought is right, then you could see a bigger and a larger turnout in Gujarati and North Indian dominated areas like North Mumbai, and probably lesser in South Mumbai, which means the results should be in favor of to Mahayuti more than Uddhav Thackeray's UBT. And that's the early trend.
You're absolutely right about that.
I also think that Congress probably will touch double digit this time.
Well, let's take that with Tulip. Tulip, do you have a better understanding as far as when it comes to all of the issues? Do you believe that are resonating with the people as far as when it comes to both the factions and the brothers uniting after a very long time? That maybe led the Congress party to take a different step altogether out of the alliance. Where do you see the Congress party currently standing as far as the BMC elections are concerned?
See, as far as the BMC elections are concerned, the Congress party had its ideologies very clear, which our President Varsha Gaikwad had voiced. And it was very clear that we will go with the ideologies of the party and not join any other party. And accordingly, we fielded the candidates. Now, among these candidates, we had many of the women candidates who are very, very strong, and we are very confident, as one of my counter friends said, that we will touch the double digit mark. Earlier also we were a double digit. Definitely we will do very, very well. Keeping in mind the 4 years gap which happened because of the elections not being held, the people being unsatisfied, the BJP ruling as the administrator, amenities not reaching the people. Okay. So definitely we stand a mark when we come before the people, as there's a deficiency in the services that actually ought to have reached the people, as the municipal corporation provides with the basic necessities which were not reached. So definitely I think so the Congress party, standing by its ideologies, moving before the people, representing themselves as a clear, non-corrupt, efficient leaders, okay, we will definitely do well.
So Ms. Miranda, from what we see on our screens right now, we have 2 leads for the Congress, but let me get a word in from Swati Joshi as well. Swati, the Congress at one point in time, and we're talking about more than 3 decades ago now, dominated the Mumbai Municipal Corporation. That's no longer the case. As far as our exit poll projections go, Swati, JVC projects approximately 21 to 23 seats for the Congress out of 227. That's very disappointing indeed for what is a national party, the country's oldest political party with strong roots in Mumbai as well. When you went around the financial capital trying to gauge the mood on the ground, did the Congress really figure in the mind space of the electorate?
Well, no, the clear answer to that is no. Yes. There are just 2 parties at the moment that are dominating the scene, and I'm talking about the 2 alliances. You have the Mahayuti, and on the other hand, the Thackeray brothers coming together. That could also be because of the continuous controversial statements or the rhetoric that you see doing the rounds. But when it comes to Congress party, you're talking about a time when the Congress also dominated the political scenario, yes, in the state of Maharashtra along with the municipal corporation. But that has been fading, and that is also because of the Congress party's performance across the country and of course in the state of Maharashtra and at the local municipal level as well. That tells you a great deal about how wrong their political strategy has gone. That tells you also about how wrong decisions in terms of making alliances has gone against the Congress party. Also, this municipal election, the Congress party is not part of the Thackeray alliance. It is contesting the election with other smaller parties. One of them is the VBA.
Yes, it's the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi led by Prakash Ambedkar. We'll wait and see as to how many or whether or not they're actually able to make inroads. But let's also get a word in from Kiran Sonavne, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena as well. Very early leads right now. We do see the UBT Sena getting about 10 leads so far. It's of course an alliance with the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, but these are still very early leads indeed. But Mr. Sonavne, how do you see things panning out for the Shiv Sena going from here?
It will be a very nice result, as opinion poll has been shown by the various media, that Mahayuti getting majority, and we all are, as a Mahayuti, we are forming we will win the more than 25 corporations in this out of 29. And people will be not entertained that the people, those are doing the work from home. People need the leader who can work from the ground. And our leaders from the Mahayuti, both the leaders, as a Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shindeji, they are the leader of the masses and they are in the public. So people will not entertain their Marathi Manus and all these issues.
Okay.
तो एक बार ये सवाल फिर मैं अभिषेक जी से भी ले लेती हूँ, क्योंकि अभिषेक जी, क्या ये एक बहुत बड़ा दाव या एक रिस्क फैक्टर है कि उद्धव और राज ठाकरे आपस में आमने सामने होने के बजाय, जो हमने पिछले चुनावों में देखा है, अब एक साथ नजर आ रहे, एक जो रेजोनेंस है, क्योंकि हम आखिरकार क्या देखते हैं, सिविक बॉडी इलेक्शंस है, चाहे वो सड़क हो, चाहे वो पानी हो, चाहे वो सिविक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, इसके ऊपर ध्यान देने के बजाय जिस तरह से राज ठाकरे साहब बोलते हुए नजर आए थे कि शायद ये आखिरी एक प्लेज हो, एक मराठी अस्मिता के लिए हो, क्या ये रिस्क फैक्टर लेने के लिए आप दोनों तैयार है और आपको लगता है कि रिजल्ट्स आपके फेवर में आएंगे?
सबसे पहले मैं पैनल में बैठे हुए सभी मेहमान जनों का मैं हार्दिक स्वागत अभिनंदन करता हूं, साथ में नमस्कार करता हूं। एक बात मैं आपको बता दूं, यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट और जो यहाँ पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की आप लोग बात कर रहे हैं, इसमें नो डाउट बीएमसी में जितने भी टाइम तक जो है शिवसेना अभी तक सत्ता में रही है, जैसे कि मेयर हमारा रहा है 26 अप्रॉक्स ईयर्स में, तो जाहिर सी बात है कि कॉन्टिन्यूसली अगर जो है जनता उनके ऊपर भरोसा जता रही थी तो कहीं न कहीं भरोसा जताने कोई न कोई तो ठोस वजह रही होगी, ऐसा सभी को पता है। लेकिन कहने मतलब यहाँ पे जैसे जो शक्तियों का दुरुपयोग किया गया है सत्ताधीन पार्टी के द्वारा, ये दुरुपयोग किया जाना कहीं न कहीं लोकतंत्र की हत्या के बराबर है। मैं बता रहा हूं कि संजय राउत जी का मैं एक स्टेटमेंट सुन रहा था, क्योंकि मैं यूपी बेस्ड मेन का हमारा जो है यहाँ पे है, मैं स्पोक पर्सन यूपी से हूँ, लेकिन कहने मतलब है संजय राउत जी ने एक एलिगेशन लगाया है कि एकनाथ शिंदे जी जो डिप्टी सीएम है सूबे के, वो कैंपेनिंग बंद होने के बाद डोर टू डोर जाकर कैंपेन कर रहे हैं अपनी पार्टी के लिए, भाजपा उनको डिप्लॉय कर रही इस तरह से। तो ये कहीं ना कहीं कहाँ आप जानते हैं कि शक्तियों का दुरुपयोग है कि नहीं, ये शायद मुझे लग रहा है पैनल में बैठे सभी लोगों को पता होना चाहिए। दूसरी बात, बीएमसी ने जो पेंडेमिक महामारी आई थी उसके ड्यूरिंग कॉल में मतलब जिस तरह से बीएमसी ने काम किया वहां पे लोगों के लिए, व्यापारिक प्रतिष्ठानों के लिए, इसका मॉडल जो है विदेश तक इसकी तारीफ की गई है। इस्लाम जो एशिया की सबसे बड़ी इस्लाम है उसको किस तरह से मैनेजमेंट किया, उसके सैनिटाइजेशन पे किस तरह से काम किया, इन चीजों को चिंता किए बगैर सीधे आप जो है, मैं कहता हूं एकनाथ शिंदे जी की पहचान क्या है सिर्फ ये बता दीजिए। आप यहाँ बैठे जितने लोग हमारे गेस्ट बैठे हुए हैं पैनल में,
बदलाव आया है ना, शिवसेना की भी तो पहचान में बदलाव आया है ना। श्वेता शालिनी जी, रिश्तों के भी रूप बदलते हैं, दैट इज सीम्स टू बी एविडेंट देयर एज फार एज व्हेन इट कम्स टू ऑल ऑफ दीज इश्यूज। डू यू बिलीव दैट इज गोइंग टू रेजोनेट ऑन द ग्राउंड? क्या भाई भाई एक साथ मिलकर अगर जो चुनाव एक साथ लड़ रहे हैं, विल इट एक्चुअली हैव अ पॉलिटिकल फॉल आउट लेटर, या आपको कितना लंबा अलायंस जाते हुए दिखता है?
आप रिजल्ट आने दीजिए और शाम तक ही अलायंस का स्वरूप देख सकते हैं। बट हैविंग सेड दैट, लेट मी रिमाइंड यू, आई वाज हियरिंग ट्यूलिप जी टॉक एंड आई रियलाइज्ड दैट अ नेशनल ऑपोजिशन पार्टी, कैन you even guess how many rallies Rahul Gandhi or Sharad Pawar ji has done across Maharashtra? Forget that. We should be looking at what exactly are the mandates that Congress had for BMC. Do you know that Congress has been fighting with the VBA in Vidhan Sabha and in Lok Sabha, and they had to take help in BMC election from the same parties that they were fighting against. Also, coming back to look at Mahayuti and what our leaders have done, apart from the maximum number of rallies that they have done, because we have a chief minister who's not virtual and his speeches are not on Facebook or Instagram, but on the streets. He's done almost about 37 rallies, and every rally he's talked about just one thing, which is development. And I think Mumbaikars today are actually voting for elevated corridors. Mumbai today is actually voting for Sea Link. They are voting for the new Navi Mumbai airport. They are voting for suburban railways. They are voting for metros, which have been built not only in Mumbai but also in Pune, in Nasik, and in Nagpur. Now, this is precisely the kind of work that Mahayuti is talking about, okay. And the results that are on your screen are actually reflecting exactly the same thing.
All right, we just hope that come the months of June to September, when the monsoons hit Mumbai, we don't go through the same cycle as we have been for the last 3 decades, complaining about potholes and drainage and leakages and poor infrastructure. Let's hope that whoever gets elected in the BMC takes their tasks very seriously indeed. Let me go across to Arunil Sadadekar as well. Arunil, let's talk about politics for a moment. What can you tell us about the dynamics within the alliance of the Mahayuti? Let me get a word in from Nilesh on that, in fact, and we'll go to Arunil later. Nilesh, Devendra Fadnavis has always aspired or wanted a mayor belonging to the Bharatiya Janata Party in the Brihanna-Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Those wishes may finally be fulfilled today in the event that the Mahayuti scores a runaway victory, as the exit polls are projecting. Let's also not forget that the Bharatiya Janata Party is contesting way more seats, more than 40 more seats than the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena is. So therefore, it stands an excellent chance of having its own mayor. What are the implications of that as far as the dynamics within the Mahayuti alliance are concerned?
Well, indeed, yes, the BJP is quite hopeful that this time, that is after 25 long years, it will be a BJP mayor who will be taking control over the BMC, the richest municipal corporation of Asia. However, we have also been noting that how since 2019, the political dynamics have been constantly changing with every upcoming election, be it local body or of the center of the state. Now, speaking of this particular election, we have seen that how BJP emerged as the bigger brother into the alliance partnership. Earlier, when it comes to local body election, it was Shiv Sena, the undivided Shiv Sena, constantly being the elder brother. But this time, after the division of Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde seems to be taking a back seat when it comes to the number of seats across all the election, be it the parliament, assembly, or the local body election, which was recently held also, and which is the constant attack which is also coming out from the UBT faction as well. Sanjay Raut, remember, in a derogatory manner had stated that how Eknath Shinde had compromised with the ideology of Balasaheb Thackeray. It will be of a first time that Shinde-led Shiv Sena is getting such a short number of seats in the local body election, which ultimately has also proved that though Shinde has fighting with less number, but his strike rate has been quite well. But given the point that he is quite less in number, the strike rate won't be one of the factors to decide the mayor, which ultimately signifies that BJP will be forming its mayor, and it will ultimately change the entire dynamics of politics. Because when it comes to the state politics, the regional party, particularly Shiv Sena, has been holding a high ground. But the stage which is set behind me, the screens which is set behind me at the BJP headquarters here in South Mumbai explains a lot. That the BJP is quite confident over its victory, something that the leadership has been constantly planning off. Now remember, while the rallies, BJP's Devendra Fadnavis has been constantly stating out that it will be a BJP's mayor, though he is into alliance with Shiv Sena faction.
Yes, Siddharth, are you seeing the number of zeros there on the screen?
Absolutely. Let's in fact get a word in from JVC Sriram about the numbers that are trickling in right now. It would be premature to draw any large conclusions from these numbers because these are still very early leads. But JVC, 35 leads for the Mahayuti right now, and the Sena UBT plus MNS is currently trailing at 24. The Congress is yet to open its account, and the NCP, Ajit Pawar, as far as the BMC is concerned, nowhere in the picture so far. However, the Shiv Sena UBT alliance with the MNS, is it punching above its weight slightly at this juncture? Or do you expect them to provide some kind of a close fight, or do you expect this gap to now significantly widen as more wards, the results for more wards now start trickling in?
Siddharth, I think, the strike rate is around 60% for Mahayuti, which is very close to what we had predicted in our exit poll. But what I would be interested in seeing is where from the results are coming. Is it coming from the island side, or is it coming from the suburban side? Because that would determine a lot more. Because now if you see, trends are changing. Congress is in 5, others are in 2. So I think the results have started coming from the island side also, and probably the Dharavi side also. Because if Congress has started to get 5, which means Mumbai Devi, or for that matter Dharavi or Malad, that is where the results should be coming from. Because those are the harvest areas of Congress party. And probably Mantur Shivaji Nagar could be the others where probably a Samajwadi party must be getting in.
Yes.
So I think once we know the areas
its khata right now, at least with 5 of the leads that we're looking at, but these are still very early leads to come to any conclusion there as far as who leads, who trails. But for now, it looks that the difference is not that big as far as when it comes to the leads are now concerned. But Tulip ji, the khata of the Congress that seems to have opened. But do you believe that there is a concern on ground when it comes to, this alliance that you have decided not to align with the UBT faction of the Shiv Sena? Do you believe that it further fragments the voter base on ground that traditionally used to be the voter base of the Congress?
No, 1 minute. Amita, is Tulip ji from the Congress party?
Yes.
Tulip ji, before you answer that question, जो अभी अमिता जी ने पूछा, मुझे ये बताइए, और ये सब लोग जानना चाहते हैं कि कांग्रेस का सबसे बड़ा नेता कौन है महाराष्ट्र में या मुंबई में?
देखो, सबसे बड़ा नेता अगर आप जानने को कहेंगे तो स्वाभाविक है हमारी जो मुंबई की अध्यक्षा है वर्षाताई गायकवाड़ है, जिन्होंने इस अलायंस को बढ़ावा दिया, जिन्होंने बहुत ही जिम्मेदारी से इस अलायंस को किया है। उनका दृष्टिकोण क्लियर था कि हम उनके साथ में नहीं जाएंगे जिन्होंने हमारे कांग्रेस आइडियोलॉजी को कहीं ना कहीं धक्का पहुंचाया है। इसके लिए उन्होंने जो है यूपीटी से उन्होंने गठबंधन।
ट्यूलिप जी, ये बताइए कि आप लोगों को कहीं ऐसा लगा नहीं कि जो आपके जो प्रदेश के बाहर के सबसे बड़े नेता हैं, जो देश के आपके कांग्रेस पार्टी के बड़े नेता राहुल गांधी जी, उनको बुलाना चाहिए, थोड़ी कैंपेन में मदद हो जाती, क्योंकि वो तो कांग्रेस पार्टी उनको जननायक बोलती है। राहुल गांधी अगर कैंपेन करते वहां पे तो और वोट आ जाते कांग्रेस के। क्यों नहीं बुलाया आप लोगों ने?
जी डेफिनेटली अगर आते थे तो डेफिनेटली हमको और भी अच्छा होता था, लेकिन जो स्वाभाविक उनका सपोर्ट है, जो हमारे कांग्रेस पार्टी के सारे उम्मीदवारों से उनका जो कनेक्ट है, जो हमारी जो आपके टीवी के माध्यम से तो हमको कुछ हेल्प तो होता नहीं है, लेकिन बाकी के सोशल मीडिया
टीवी के माध्यम से तो किसी का हेल्प नहीं होता, और ना ही उम्मीदवार के माध्यम से होता है, वोटर के माध्यम से होता है। तो ये माध्यम ही पहले आप लोगों ने गलत चुना हुआ है। टीवी के माध्यम से इलेक्शन नहीं जीता जाता। ट्यूलिप जी, आप तो जानती हैं। मुझे ये बताइए, आप कह रहे हैं कि वो आते तो अच्छा होता, आप लोगों ने बुलाया क्यों नहीं, या बुलाया और वो आए नहीं?
तो हमारा तो कोई भी नेशनल चैनल दिखाता ही नहीं है।
ऐसा मत बोलिए, अभी पिछले 5 मिनट से आप ही से बात कर रहे हैं। अमिता ने आपसे सवाल पूछा, सिद्धार्थ हैं, स्वाति जी हैं। देखिए, आपका पूरा फोकस कांग्रेस पार्टी पे है। जीते हारे कोई भी, कांग्रेस हमेशा चर्चा में रहती है। हमारे चैनल पे तो दिन भर रहती है।
खाता भी खुल गया है।
हाँ, खाता भी खुल गया है, देखिए कांग्रेस पार्टी का।
वो तो खुलेगा, अभी आने के समय में अपने को दिखाई देगा कि कहां कांग्रेस पार्टी स्टैंड करेगी। आप सभी को पता चल जाएगा।
नहीं, मैं राहुल गांधी के बारे में पूछ रहा था। राहुल गांधी जी को आप लोगों ने बुलाया कैंपेन के लिए, या आपको लगा कि नहीं वो बहुत बड़े नेता हैं, ये लोकल चुनाव में क्या करेंगे वो?
जी नहीं, बुलाया तो डेफिनेटली रहेगा, लेकिन जो भी
आए
है
नहीं
वो
वो।
आए नहीं आए उनसे इतना मतलब
इसीलिए मैं कह रहा था टीवी पे, अब टीवी पे हम तो यही दिखाएंगे कि राहुल गांधी जी को बुलाया लेकिन वो नहीं आए। वो कहां चले गए थे कैंपेन करने? वो वियतनाम चले गए। उनको उधर विक्रोली में कैंपेन करना था, लेकिन वो वियतनाम चले। सिद्धार्थ, दिस इज द कांग्रेस you know leadership admitting it that Rahul Gandhi could have come and helped, but maybe he thought it's a lost cause.
Well, he's probably given up even before the first vote was cast. I mean, had he come here, it would have definitely energized the cadre in Mumbai as well. Irrespective of what the ultimate outcome is, you also need to, of course, seen to be campaigning, seen to be trying to motivate your cadre, galvanize them at the grassroots. But unfortunately for the Congress, that simply was not the case as far as Rahul Gandhi was concerned. As far as elections go, it's a lost cause for many parties in the fray. That doesn't mean that their senior leadership doesn't come in campaign. In this case, Rahul Gandhi could have set an example. He chose not.
Let's ask the BJP spokesperson, Amita.
श्वेता शालिनी जी, वही तो अब कांग्रेस की तरफ से तो कहा जा रहा है कि कनेक्ट है, लेकिन डिस्कनेक्ट आपको लग रहा है कि ज्यादातर ऑन ग्राउंड है, क्योंकि जब उनके बड़े नेता खुद ही शामिल नहीं होंगे और ऑन ग्राउंड नहीं आएंगे तो लोगों को पता कैसे चलेगा कि कौन कौन सी पार्टी से है, क्योंकि इस बार कंफ्यूजन थोड़ा ज्यादा है। मैम
देखिए अमिता जी, मैंने तो ये प्रश्न पहले ही पूछा था कि राहुल गांधी जी क्यों नहीं आए, बट हैविंग सेड दैट, लेट्स लुक एट cadre migration in the very first place. See, time and again for the past decade, the people of India, the Mumbaikars, the people of Maharashtra and every state have been saying that legacy has a shelf life. Ultimately, dynasty politics will not work. And this is exactly what the Thackeray brothers and the junior Thackeray brothers also had to realize, that just popping up a presentation and forgetting the lines which have been memorized is not something which is going to get them the sympathies. Ideally, they will have to go down on the ground, which they refuse to do. And that's one of the reasons why, if you actually see 25 or more corporators actually moved parties and came towards the Shinde Sena, where their ideology was supported. More than 20 Shakha Pramukhs have actually migrated. What the people on the ground look for is one, ideological support and support from the leaders. On the other hand, if you actually look at Devendra Fadnavis ji, my leader, he has done 80 events, whether it is interviews, whether it is media interviews.
But Shweta Shalini, you don't even have to do so much of campaigning, because the opposition is saying आपने इंक में पानी मिला दिया। कैंपेनिंग से तो कुछ होगा नहीं, सीधा आप लोगों ने वोट चोरी कर लिया है।
ऐसा है, बाकी लोगों ने पता नहीं कौन सी इंक लगाई, आई डोंट नो, एंड आई एम आल्सो सरप्राइज कि 2011 से इन लोगों ने वोट दिया कि नहीं वोट दिया, क्योंकि 2011 से जब भी मैंने वोट दिया है, द सेम इंक हैज बीन यूज्ड, एंड आई हैव सेड दिस टाइम एंड अगेन that संस्कृत में एक बड़ी पुरानी सी कहावत है, it says आत्मदोषम न जानाति परम दोष निरक्षते, which means हम अपना दोष जब छुपाना चाहते हैं तो दूसरे पे दोष लगाना शुरू कर देते हैं, and that's exactly the fact. These numbers, whatever they are going to be.
Swati is coming in. She has a question for you, but I just want to ask one quick thing of JVC. JVC had Rahul Gandhi campaigned. How do you think would the change be, or what would have happened for the Congress party?
Nothing would have changed, Pranash. Nothing would have changed.
Why?
Things would have been status quo. See, because Congress is doing whatever they are doing based on the local strength, based on Aslam Sheikh, Varsha Gaikwad, Jyoti Gaikwad, and Mumbai Devi's MLA. That's it. Now, Rahul Gandhi coming and doing anything would have probably distracted the campaign, because he would have done some vote chori, he would have probably jumped into the river, like what he did in Bihar, or he could have probably had vada pav, and he would have himself tried to make vada pav, which would not cut eyes with the voter. So because, see, whatever Rahul Gandhi does, remember, Pranesh, Rahul Gandhi went to Gujarat and Congress lost very badly. Rahul Gandhi did not enter into Himachal Pradesh. Congress won. Moral of the story. Do you get what I say?
Well, simply putting out that if Rahul Gandhi is not there, then the party has a better chances of winning. Swati, over to you.
Well, the only difference would have been that it would have been easier for the BJP to directly blame Rahul Gandhi and say कि देखिए Rahul Gandhi आ गए, इसीलिए कांग्रेस पार्टी का भट्टा बैठ गया. That's what people say in Hindi. But ma'am, Shweta Shalini ji, Sanjay Raut made a statement earlier. He said कि यहाँ पर जय श्री राम नहीं चलेगा, सिर्फ जय महाराष्ट्र चलेगा. And in the same breath he said, देखिए मोदी शाह भी यहाँ पर कैंपेन करने नहीं आ रहे क्योंकि वो पहले ही हार मान चुके हैं. So don't you agree that the high command of all the national parties actually maintained a safe difference and allowed the local leadership to lead from the front?
See, there are, first let me reply to what Sanjay Raut ji says. हालांकि स्वाति जी आपको पता है कि महाराष्ट्र में संजय राउत जी को सीरियसली लेना बंद कर दिया गया है और उनका रिप्लाई तो कोई देता ही नहीं है. But now that you have brought up this point, I have to tell you this. Anil Parab ji gave a written interview to Hindustan Times, which was printed yesterday. If you go back and look at that interview, he clearly says that this time it is not the youth or the ideology. We are going for M plus M, Marathi Manus plus Muslim. That is going to be our combination. If both of them support us, this is exactly why we are going to win. Now, that is one of the reasons why Congress decided to step away, because they feel that they have a veto on the Muslims and Muslims have a veto on Congress, and that's one of the reasons why they did not come together, though the ideology remains the same. We have been saying this on 100% times, that the only Thackeray brand that remains in Maharashtra.
जी, तो ये अभिषेक का अगर आप इसके ऊपर जवाब दे सके तो, क्योंकि आइडियोलॉजी अब अगर यूबीटी फैक्शन और एमएनएस का भी एक साथ आते हुए अब यही आइडियोलॉजी रह जाएगी कि ठोक देंगे, मार देंगे, लुंगी पुंगे, हमने पता नहीं क्या कुछ नहीं सुना है इस इलेक्शन सीजन में. तो आपको लगता है कि सारा दाव पेच जो है वो मराठी मानूस और मराठी अस्मिता पर ही लगा दिया इस चुनावों में? अभिषेक जी,
ऐसा कुछ नहीं. दरअसल क्या है ना कि जो मीडिया ट्रायल्स होते हैं ये कहीं न कहीं ये भी कई बार चीजों को दिखाते कुछ है, जबकि एक्चुअल में यथास्थिति कुछ और होती है. कहने का विषय ये है कि मराठी मानस जो है ये नो डाउट
भगवा गार्ड किसने खड़े करवाए,
उदय हुआ था,
किसकी तरफ से खड़े हुए थे, किसको ठोकने की बात हो रही थी?
शिवसेना की जो उत्पत्ति है वो वाकई मराठा मानुस के अधिकारों के लिए हुई थी, नो डाउट. लेकिन शिवसेना ने खुद को समय के हिसाब से बदला, परिवर्तित किया और उन्होंने सेकेंडली जो है उसमें बात किया हिंदुत्व की. वजह क्या है कि शिवसेना जो है सामाजिक मुद्दों पे जो समस्याएं होती हैं उनके बिहाफ पे वो लोग काम करते हैं. नहीं, इसमें ये नहीं कि हमारी
अभिषेक जी मुझे अब देखिए एक साथ 3 हाथ उठ गए यहाँ पे. अब सिद्धार्थ भी सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि आप जो कह रहे हैं उसमें लोगों को ताज्जुब होगा, इसीलिए क्योंकि आप लखनऊ से हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, आप शिवसेना उद्धव फैक्शन के नेता हैं. मुझे ये बताइए, जब उद्धव ठाकरे या राज ठाकरे अब आपके अलायंस पार्टनर है, वो उत्तर भारतीयों को वो मारते हैं, उनके बारे में अपशब्द कहते हैं, तो आपको लखनऊ में जब आप बैठ के वो देखते हैं सुनते हैं तो कैसा लगता है? वो कौन सी अस्मिता है?
नहीं, मैं यहाँ से ये आपसे बात करी, ये कोई भी कोई क्षेत्र, भारत देश एक संपूर्ण देश है और इसमें कोई भी क्षेत्रवाद या जातिवाद इस तरह की जगह नहीं होनी चाहिए।
नहीं होनी चाहिए। ये तो शिवसेना उद्धव फैक्शन का ब्रांड ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स है। वो तो यही करते हैं कि किसी पानीपुरी वाले को मार दो, जाके किसी दुकान में घुस जाओ उसको मार दो, वो वही करते हैं। आपने कभी लिखा है अपने नेताओं को कि ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए? अगर आपको ऐसा करना है तो सिर्फ महाराष्ट्र के नेता अपने पार्टी में भर्ती कीजिए, आप हम लखनऊ से आपके पार्टी में ज्वाइन नहीं करेंगे। आप सीधा सवाल है, सीधा जवाब दीजिए।
मैं आपकी ही बात पे आ रहा हूं, मैं आपकी ही बात पा रहा हूं। जो एक इसमें वर्ल्ड लीडर बना हुआ है, माननीय योगी आदित्यनाथ जी इस देश के सीएम है, इस सूबे के मुख्यमंत्री हैं। आप बता दो उत्तर प्रदेश की राजनीति इसमें कौन सी जातिगत राजनीति चल रही नहीं चल रही है? माननीय भाजपा के जो यहाँ पे स्पोक पर्सन बैठे हैं, बताएं इस बात को, क्या जातिगत राजनीति का किसी सूबे के मुख्यमंत्री?
मुझे एक बात बताइए अभिषेक जी, आप तो लखनऊ में रहते हैं, ऐसा हुआ है कि किसी दूसरे प्रदेश के लोगों को या उनके व्यवसाय पे जाके हमला हो गया है क्योंकि वो कहीं दूसरे जगह से आया है, कुछ और भाषा बोलता है? वहां तो काशी तमिल संगमम शुरू किया है सरकार ने।
हो रहा है क्षेत्रीयता के आधार पे हमला हो रहा है, यह बिल्कुल भी टॉलरेंस नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं इसके अगेंस्ट हूं। आप यहां की बात कर रहे हो, मैं वहां भी कोई भी घटना होती मैं उस पर ध्यान रखता हूं, लेकिन कहने का विषय ये है
आप अगेंस्ट रह सकते हैं, लेकिन देखिए जनता आपके अगेंस्ट है। लुक एट द अर्ली ट्रेंड्स, सिद्धार्थ, लेट्स क्विकली go through the numbers.
So you have the Mahayuti, of course, leading currently with 56 seats. You have 32 for the UBT Sena, an alliance with MNS. The Congress has 10, and the others, which include the Samajwadi Party, a whole lot of independents, more than 100 of them in the fray, and also the AIMIM. Well, they've basically notched up 7 so far. So still a significant advantage for the Mahayuti. We're also getting certain specific leads as well, Pranesh, over what's been happening in the BMC election. So in Andheri East, you have the Bharatiya Janata Party having a significant lead. You have the MNS also getting some leads near the Andheri area. Now, these are all, of course, part of the Mumbai Northwest constituency, where you currently have a Lok Sabha member of parliament representing the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, Ravindra Vaikar, who had won that particular constituency by a margin of only 48 seats. But the early leads do indicate that the spread of the advantages that you see as far as the multiple parties in the fray are concerned, it's still fairly far and wide. In Mumbai Northwest, which is a very diverse constituency, a very strong mix of both Marathi as well as Gujarati voters, we'll have to, of course, wait and see as to how these trends now materialize. But the UBT Sena, some would say, punching above its weight, at least at this early juncture in the leads. Yes.
Now, JVC, it's not just BMC. If you see the numbers in Navi Mumbai, that was also a prestige battle. You had Ganesh Nayak, who was NCP strongman, came to the BJP. His two sons, Sanjeev Nayak, Sandeep Nayak. What is the mood there?
I think they're fighting against the Shiv Sena over there.
Right.
I think there I would say that BJP would have a slight advantage, because it's a BJP and Shiv Sena are fighting against each other in that particular area.
And by Shiv Sena, you mean the
Pune is
Sena,
another
right?
thing which we need to see, because both the power factions have come together. Yeah, Shinde Sena, they're fighting against them. And we need to also look at Pune, because Pune will give you an early trend, because there BJP is locked against power camp. Both Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar are fighting together.
Okay. We have the guest from the NCP also, Amita.
Absolutely. So, Pranay, what is your understanding that we are looking at? Because as far as the NCP split is also concerned, we are looking at the split and the coming together of the, political parties that have been, in a way, leading from the front in Maharashtra. But lots has changed since 2017. And as far as the stronghold there in Pune also is concerned, do you believe that this would be a winning streak, or this is a risk that Ajit Pawar seems to have taken?
Ma'am, I must thank you for finally considering other municipal corporations as well, except the BMC. Let me bring this into record that there are elections happening in 29 municipal corporations all over the Maharashtra. But unfortunately, or for reasons best known to the other people, best known to the media houses, they are just solely concentrating or giving too much emphasis on the BMC, whereas PMC, PCMC, Thane, Navi Mumbai, Nagpur, these all municipal corporations play crucial role in the state politics. Ma'am, let's talk about PMC and PCMC, where the two NCPs have come together, joined hands, and are combating elections with the BJP and the Mahayuti. Ma'am, all over the state, you will find that there are alliances happening at the local level. I've always maintained that these are the local body elections, where the issue is derived due to the local politics and due to the local combination. International or national issues have no relations whatsoever in the local body election, but unfortunately, some parties try to impose the national issues or national level topics like Jat, Paat, Dharam and whatnot to sensitize the election. However, I must maintain that in PMC, in PCMC and wherever NCP is contesting alone or with other alliances, we have a fantabulous chance. We are going to have a great show today, and let me tell you with all the honesty and confidence that by 2:33, the picture will be clear and will be in a dominating position.
Let me get a word in from Arunil Satadekar as well. Arunil, right now the leads indicate that the Sena, UBT and MNS have approximately 32 leads, about 24 behind the Mahayuti. Now, what's your assessment of the numbers so far? Because some would say that the Sena, UBT and MNS so far, with a trail mark of only about 24, may in fact still run the BJP Mahayuti close.
I think, Sid, let's give him a few minutes. Yes. Arunil is traveling, as we can see. Swati,
okay. What
is the mood across party camps? The early trends are in. And look at the numbers, 56 for Shinde and the BJP together, which is the NDA. Then you have 32 for the Thackeray brothers, 10 for Congress Plus.
Absolutely. Like Siddharth said, the difference is just maybe 20-24 seats between them in terms of the leads. And it shows that the Shiv Sena, UBT plus MNS is very much in the game. Although, we need more numbers and more clear idea and sense of where the MNS stands or how many seats the MNS has leads on. It was Raj Thackeray that revived the entire Marathi Manus pitch, and that in a way egged or forced Uddhav Thackeray also to take a strong stand. Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray coming together, is that going to get the Marathi vote bank in their favor is something that we need to watch out for. But yes, the SS UBT plus still very much in the game. Let's see if they catch up, if this is going to be a close contest, a tight contest. At the moment, of course, Mahayuti is very, very comfortably leading.
Because, this was actually being touted to be a litmus test also for the BJP, and as far as its alliance with the Shiv Sena Eknath faction is also concerned. Would they be able to replicate and, the results that are now coming in? The difference, do you believe that it would be much or a better performance on part of these political parties? Arunil?
Amita, one important point that I would like to make over here is whatever numbers the Congress party gets or whatever numbers the Samajwadi party gets, it is going to favor Uddhav Thackeray as well as the Thackerays basically, because technically
we'll try to
or Samajwadi party.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Arunil, we can hear you now.
Well, Siddharth, technically, the Congress party, how much ever number they get, or the number the Samajwadi party gets, they will not be supporting the BJP alliance. So whatever number they get, that again will be very instrumental for well, it is still early days, but yes, as Swati was pointing out, it seems like the Mahayuti has an edge, a clear edge, but the Thackeray's are also not lagging far behind. But the Thackeray's are also not lagging far behind. Whether they'll be able to pull back, that again will be interesting to watch out for. From where exactly the counting has started, that is again an interesting aspect to look into, because Mumbai Central, Mumbai Northeast as well, the Thackeray's had some kind of a power. But in Mumbai North particularly, which is Piyush Goyal is the MP from there, BJP clearly has a massive advantage. So yes, till now as well, the Mahayuti seems to be leading.
Okay, Arunil, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Viewers, we have some breaking input coming in.